Hello, Fatima, and welcome back. I'm very excited for our discussion today. But before we start, you had mentioned in our discussion about acceptance that one thing that you do every evening is what you call a life review. And I realized after we ended our discussion that I never asked you how one does a life review and how someone such as myself or anyone watching could implement that into their daily routine. So, if that's okay with you, I'd really like to start there today.
Oh, okay, no problem. Thank you for having me again. It's a pleasure to be with you every week. As you know, Ivy, I grew up with Sufi masters. And in the Sufi culture, they teach us like what they call in their culture, they call it al-muhasaba, which is al-muraqaba and al-muhasaba, which in English we can call it accountability. So at young age, and I feel like really I was fortunate to to be with them because at young age they taught us before you sleep, and they explained to us that what is sleeping is basically experiencing death. They used to call it minor death.
Mm.
Okay. So they taught us before you sleep, you train yourself every day to review the day, but starting from the end of the day, go back to the beginning of the day. It's not the other way. We don't start from the beginning of the day to go. And I
Oh,
think the
interesting.
main reason why they trained us to do so, you start from the day, end of the day, all the way to the beginning, is you see how you progress that day or you went down that day, like
How you regressed.
how
Yeah.
you regressed exactly. So, and also it helps in the dream state. It helps also in reviewing life, so many things that comes later on. But anyway, so what we do, I usually have a notebook next to me and
Mhm.
I write down like today, I did this, I did that, and you see what you liked about yourself and how you reacted and decide like you will not act the same way next day if it was not positive, in my opinion, or if it was, and if it was positive, you kind of appreciate yourself. But anyway, you're going to be grateful for either way. It was an experience and you're learning from it. So I always write that down. And then I write the next day with the intention if I come back to life, if I'm granted another day, I write down like what I would do differently and how I would start my day so that we don't get like triggered or how you release the pain the same night so then you don't carry the pain over and all these things that we will discuss, of course, if you had a painful day, let's say. So so I do that, and I also write, for example, the next day I write dream. If you see anything in the dream, you learn to write it down because all of that will help you with how you become more conscious and aware of yourself, whether in you are in an awake state or you are in a dream state. And then you learn with time that some of the dream state you are tapping to the future database, you
Mhm.
know, the or sometimes you're tapping to the record book. Basically, the database is the record book to past experiences or information that you may need in your life that helps you in your life. So that's basically what I call a life review. Also, when we die, it's known in every religion, in every scripture, in every spiritual information that when we die, we're going to go to a life review. I mean, it's kind of you go to a transition center before your next life cycle, you're going to go to a life review. There's so many people that had near-death experience, and there are millions of them online or books, lots of books that they come back to tell us that they went through a life review. So you learn to do it consciously is much better.
Right.
So that's the point, like I would call it. That's why I wrote in my book, or even in the first page of my website, you'll find accountability, acceptance, and appreciation. Those triple A, I call them the triple A of life. It's really my own experience.
There's a lot there, and I think that that's great. But just going, if I'm understanding correctly, so
Uh-huh.
before we go to bed, we can take out a notebook, review our
Hmm.
day, and what I'm interpreting is it can really be any part of your day that sticks out. So,
Yes.
perhaps it's an interaction I had or things I did or didn't do working towards goals I might have. And so in that point, relating it to your AAA, I'm taking accountability for what I did great and what I might improve upon. I'm also then having acceptance of this is what happened today and it's over and it's done with. And now I'm going to make some intentions for the next day. And then for the appreciation part, I think for me, so my mother, for example, does gratitude every night before she goes to bed. I think that's part of it. But also, I really liked what you said is it's appreciation, whether the day was good or bad, that it was a learning experience, which I think nicely ties back in to acceptance. So that's great. And with the dreams, that's very interesting to me. And I guess a lot of people could do it tandem, right? Life review and perhaps dreams. For me, I some of my dreams seem kind of nonsensical, but some of it really taps into maybe not even the future or the past, but just some present insecurities too, which maybe might be alleviated if I implement a life review every night.
Yeah. My own experience with dreams, mostly I tap to a future database and or you can call it the probable future. And maybe it was good for me because it gave me some type of confidence
Mhm.
that this method of developing the self, as you know, there is this we have a verse, very common verse that's repeated among the Muslim people in chapter Shams when it says like succeeded is the one who developed its own soul. So we're here in this earth to really develop and evolve our souls. So you succeed when you develop your soul. So I felt all my dreams that were giving me a future, the probable future, they were helping me how to make choices. So I felt like I loved the writing down my life review daily because it just gave me that, how you can say, that confidence of, oh, okay, I made this mistake yesterday. So I will learn, I'm learning from it, and hopefully I'm going to develop myself and I'm going to do much better later on. You see what I mean? And like
Yes.
I mentioned also before, like I felt I was born teacher to teach spirituality. So many of my vivid dreams that came true later on helped my family to take my teaching, because like if you come and you tell them like, oh, I see that most probably this thing will happen, those predictions come true, they start to learn, oh, what are you doing to know that? So I became kind of a spiritual teacher with my own family. And so I felt like that was my journey, and I was just sharing how I did it.
Oh, that's great. I mean, I think we would all hope that that's a part of our journey too, but thank you for at least giving us the skill set to embark on that through the life review. And I appreciate you taking the time to explain it further so I can implement it and hopefully others can implement it as well.
Okay. I hope they can do it because now I see it even with my children. They take notes on the phone. Everything is on the phone. I want to recommend using the phone. Put the phone away from you because
Okay.
like it may interrupt even, how much research is done about the phones and all of that. But keep a notebook.
Okay. This is a good disclaimer. That's a great disclaimer. And thank you. Yes, I think we could all benefit, whether we're doing life reviews or not, to disconnect from the phone before bed.
Exactly. Put
Yeah.
it away. And it helps you when you wake up is just to, instead of going to the phone and seeing news or something or text, you wake up and you just have to be with yourself first, connect to your body, be grateful, appreciate the new day. I feel with this generation of, I call them the iPhone, they lose the I while they are connecting with the iPhone. Instead
Absolutely.
of upgrading the I, they're upgrading their iPhones.
Yes, that is a very accurate observation.